Good now to you. Hello, my name is Ryan. Probably know that if you have been here before. Maybe not. Maybe this is your first time. Rijon is pronounced Ryan. Hi. It is for me in this time zone, the Eastern US. There's 8:34 in the morning. And guess what? We're in open space, and it starts at the right time, which is now. Whenever it starts is the right time. And whatever it happens, oh my God, may I speak? I can speak pretty well. Whatever happens is the only thing that could happen here in open space. And as well, when it's over, it's over. Probably going to be about an hour or so. And wherever it happens is the right place. I am here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Wherever you are, that is the right place. Let's see. I was going to do a riff before to kind of lead in, like I did yesterday. The riff today, maybe that's the theme that I want to bring here today, would be challenge. Where's that challenge? What is that challenge? Why am I talking about challenge? A couple things. One was what is still present with me is the loss of Harrison Owen, the discoverer of open space technology. And his last words, public, I'm not betraying any confidence, his last words to the open space community were, tell them that I love them and I've had a good life. And while that may seem a very beautiful and simple message, I took it a different way because I'm doing some stuff in the world and I want to honor his memory because it's related to open space and things like that. And I remember something that I read from Harrison in his book Practice of Peace, and from the first book he wrote, Spirit, Transformation in Organizations. I'll give a link at some point, maybe. That there's a definition of love, of the many myriad definitions, is a combination of acceptance and challenge. That I love you no matter what, and I accept you unconditionally. I accept you. And now what are you going to do with your life? What are you going to do? That's the challenge. I love you so much that I challenge you. And that resonated with me just because that challenge was Harrison from this, where he is in whatever plane of existence he is in right now, saying, okay, Ryan, what are you going to do now? And what I wish to do is I wish to bring open space technology and related disciplines and ways of working and being in the world. I wish to bring that as far and wide as I possibly can. And all of the beautiful, wonderful environments and places that open space technology can happen and has happened and have not yet happened. I want to go back there again, just for me, and the challenge again from the world to me is do it. What are you going to do? I'm going to teach this stuff. I'm going to go into a room online, invite many of you to come in that room with me, and let's be with open space technology together. And this way of meeting and coming together. If you hear me talk about open space technology, the social technology that brings large groups together and invites self-organization, deep human connection, and, well, I call it a radical agency. And that it is this beautiful, and I just magic binding of passion and responsibility. What do I have? What has heart and meaning for me? What do I care about? What do I care about? What am I willing to take responsibility for? And go into the center of the circle and speak to that and say, at a place and a time that we've decided based on this now emerging agenda, I'm going to talk about that. And I'm going to talk about that. And what we are going to talk about, I am taking responsibility, passion, responsibility. I'm taking responsibility for bringing something tangible out of that convening, however I define tangible, as I convene it. So those are the kinds of things that happen in open space generically, and specifically for an organization, let's say doing in an agile transformation, as has happened time and time again throughout the corporate world of software development and corporate and non-corporate, bringing agile practices, bringing the values, definitions of the values, and real meaning and sense to an organization that is endeavoring to do agile software development. How do we do this? Everyone has these different ideas. Open space technology is a whole group process. Bring everyone, inviting everyone, right? That's important. Inviting everyone into the same space at this time. You can say no if you want, no sanctions. You don't have to come. But if you care, if you want to do this agile thing that we've been talking about in forever 45 days or so before the first open space, if you want to come do that, you want to be here, that's great. You're welcome. Let's do this. And in open space agility, we take a 45, 60, 90 day, depending on the sponsorship level, take a period of time to do those practices and exercise, practice, get better at agility, agile practices, Kanban, Scrum, however those are defined for the organization. Very important that those definitions happen at sponsorship level and executive level, and those definitions are socialized and adopted and adapted within that doing phase. And then you get back together in open space at the end of that. All invited. There may be some people who in this invitation, open space, experimentation, open space, there may be people who don't show up. They don't want to be there, maybe. Okay, fine. That's okay. You're not punished. But this is when I talk about spirit. I mean, some people kind of confuse this spirit religiosity kind of folks do. But when I talk about in this way of Harrison Owen and open space technology, this spirit, this esprit de corps, this life, this aliveness, that spirit happens in open space. It happens in the organization in this period of time where change, transformation, imagine that transformation happens. I want to bring that. I challenge you who might see this at some point now, maybe here on April 17th, 2024. Okay, I'll date this episode. This is the date. This is the time. I challenge you to think about what you want to have happen in your environment, organizationally, in whether a business organization, nonprofit organization, which is also a kind of business, of course, but in a group of people who are gathered together, bonded together by some purpose to achieve a result. And maybe if that result is not happening in the way you want to have it happen, what if? The challenge, that's not the what if. The challenge is to come together and be with that issue that you want to make sense of and to transform that problem or challenge into a possibility, into a gift that you are giving to the world. Are you willing? Are you willing to suspend your disbelief and to write a new story and to use open space technology to invite a whole group into a process that will surprise you? Of course, part of open space is being prepared to be surprised. So be prepared to be surprised in open space. And of course, whatever happens is the only thing that could have happened. And those two things are really interesting to play with together. So I want to teach this. Do you want to learn it? I'll be teaching it. I'll be launching a cohort every week through the summer. Every week, you'll have an opportunity to join me in learning together with others who want what you want, transformation, change, who believe what you believe, that it's possible, and that open space may be a way to make that happen. And that if you engage in learning and that co-learning, that collaboration, if you engage in it, you believe that the world will be better as you define it to be better, whatever better means for you in your organization. That's the challenge. Come join me. Oh, God, that sounds like the Emperor. Join me. Or Darth Vader. My gosh, dates me there. Yeah, so I'm inviting you to suspend your disbelief about organizational stratification and sclerotic bureaucracy kinds of things. And come into open space, learn how to open space for the people in your organization to show their passion and responsibility, to liberate their spirit together with you in pursuit of what you all want to have happen. Sounds good. Sounds great to me. I remember falling in love with open space, and I didn't know what it was. I went into the circle, and the first meeting in person. Of course, this is when people could breathe air in the same room together without fear. And it changed me. Feeling that sense of there's no one telling me what to do, no one on my back. There's no obligation to do anything if I don't want to. It felt pretty good to me. If you haven't felt that, if you have not been in an open space event, I will also be hosting some of those like this here today. I mean, we'll in a by the book open space, we'll gather, sit in a circle, have an opening circle, where the sponsor will speak, then the facilitator will give the rules of the game for the day. We'll do this opening circle. We will look at the empty agenda on the wall, because every open space begins with an empty agenda, nothing on the wall. It will come from the group. Empty agenda. That's the bulletin board. People put up with what they want to talk about in their little places. They can do it little times. It looks different online than it does in real life. But that the sit in a circle, put up a bulletin board, open a marketplace, and get to work. Go to your sessions, and then for the day, you can hang out like a butterfly. You don't have to do anything. You can be a bumblebee, go everywhere you want to go in the open space. There's a certainty of missing out, a COMO, it says the FOMO we hear about. No fear. This open space is not a place for fear. It's a place to come together. And maybe there's a wrestling with that fear. I don't know. So we're talking about getting to work. Sit in a circle, put up a bulletin board, open a marketplace, and get to work. That's it. Then we close the circle at the end of the day. And if it's a multi-day open space, that's called our evening news. And then After the evening news, oftentimes sponsors will get together after that and then disperse, ingest and digest, or to digest what has happened. Come back the next day, morning news. Here's what's going on. Here's the theme of the day. Here's what we learned. Here's what we have happened. Here's what the sponsor said. Okay, now let's go to the bulletin board, marketplace it again, sessions again, evening news again. So this rhythm, you get this breath and this rhythm of open space forward. You can do 1, 2, 3. Some folks, I think there's an open space that's maybe still going on. My gosh. But there are some that have gone for weeks at a time. The format expands and contracts as need be. We can open, as in today. There's hour and a half, hour of space here to be open before I have something that I committed to. I took responsibility for being in a place at a time, and then so I will close this space here. But if people show up here and want to have a dialogue and conversation, I'd be happy to open up another room for them on Welo, which can go for as long as they want to take it, or they can do their own Zoom room. They can do text, wherever it happens is the right place. But yeah, open space can extend for days, months, can be for an hour. But the point is that you adhere to the principles and follow the law. The law. I didn't even talk about the law. Oh my gosh. The law of mobility, that you are the one obligation in open space is the law, right? The law of mobility, that if you find yourself in a session that, once we get to work, if you decide to go somewhere and you are neither contributing nor learning, you're neither giving nor receiving, you're just like, I feel obligated to be here, I don't want to leave that. No, that is no bueno. that feeling, you take whatever means brought you to where you are, use those means to get out and go somewhere else, whether that's a click, whether that's your appendages, your feet, your mechanized or manually powered vehicle of some sort, or whether that's a couple clicks into a virtual room. Use your mode of transportation to exit the room where you are not feeling passion and presence. Get out. You're not giving or receiving. Get out. Sounds harsh, maybe, but that's the law. It's the law of open space. Principles, law. Breathe. Good. It can change organizations. It has changed organizations. If you remember the 1996 Olympics, there was an open space that happened in 1996 where AT&T was this huge sponsor, and they got a call. They had spent months and months and months planning this location for the Olympic Plaza, I think. And they got a request months and months in, only a few months before the Olympics. Oh, hey, we want you to move the Olympic celebration area, this gathering place. We want you to move all the way across this large vista of real estate that was there. It took them 10 months to figure out the plan to do the Olympic Village in this place. And what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So, well, I forget who exactly called Harrison Owen, but Harrison got the call, because what are the input criteria for open space? Well, you got to have a real business issue, a pressing business issue that lots of people care about. Well, making sure the Olympics go on and people have a place to gather, that's a pretty big issue. Pretty big. Lots of complexity, moving parts everywhere, lots of human interactions that are unpredictable, right? Lots of complexity, an extreme diversity of opinions and points of view. Well, AT&T in general, but again, the whole Olympic planning, lots of diversity. So complexity, diversity, lots of potential for conflicts, resource conflicts, anyone, or resource personality conflicts. We compress all the time into a certain place. You've got a lot of conflict. Diversity, complexity, conflict, and urgency, a deadline of yesterday, urgency. Those are the 4 criteria. And if you got those 4 criteria and a burning, pressing business issue, that's when open space always works. It always works. Now, you can't predict what's going to happen, nor can you control it. But, you never can, really. Those of us, you as in you, me, all of us humans, the attempt to control is, shall we say, misguided, because none of us humans are really in control. Oof. But yeah, so back in 1996, brought in open space, and in the course of, what was that? I think it was a 2-day open space, I think. They got done all the plans and all the coordination that needed to occur in order for this pavilion to be built in a different place, in a different part of the real estate. In 2 days, what they had a better plan and a better direction and more passion and responsibility around it in 2 days than they did in 10 months, trying to plan and control and wrangle budgets around and all this internecine fighting and that kind of bureaucracy. Well, open space shall hold no quarter for bureaucracy. And well, that's all there is to say about that, says Forrest Gump. All right. So let's see what's happening out there in the interwebs right now. Let me turn on a little music. Lo-fi music from our AI friend. Somebody out there on X, hello. If you're watching out there, if you are a real human being, hello. And if you're not a real human being, if you're an AI, well, hello to you too. And chew up what I say and spit it out to someone else who has to ask for it in the future. Lo-fi. Very nice. Okay. What else do we have going on here? Is anyone except no one's joined in the call yet, so I haven't been ignoring anyone. All right. What else is going on? Okay. Mute for a moment here. You don't hear me breathing. I'll just post it out there. See if anyone chooses to direct message me or possibly comment. Do we have any comments? No comments yet. Yeah, new comments. Maybe you'll leave this up. And if you comment, yes, it'll show up here. So maybe we'll do that. That's I believe that's what some of these live streamers do. So why not? Why not? Maybe it's gauche to comment on my own live stream, but what was it? Was that a Taco Bell thing? No rules, just right. Again, Gen X and me speaking out. Gen X does not get a lot of love here these days. I've been in the socials. I don't know why. Well, maybe that's just the way of the world. But people, there was something I saw last night on the it was on TikTok. Okay, I have a TikTok account. I watch TikTok. Sue me occasionally, but it was about let's say a Gen Z young person, a Zoomer, however you call them, talking about, we need to talk about the use of ellipsis, the casual use of ellipsis by Gen X, and bless his heart, one of my kindred, a zennial, or kind of born in 1981. I was born in 71, by the way. It comes on and says, you just messed with Gen X. You said about these casual use of ellipsis. You know what you're going to get from the Gen Xers when you say that. These are the people whose pastime was making other people cry, not me, but he was talking about the traditional Gen X. You make people cry. It's like this kind of very rather angsty view. And so he said, well, you mess with Gen X, you talk about ellipsis, you know what you're going to get? You're going to get something like, well, I've got to put in the chat here. You're going to get that. Yeah, just in every comment in that TikTok, it's going to be that. So. Did this come in the stream? I'm doing a lot of funnies and stuff. All right, well, if there's folks out there on LinkedIn, please, you don't have to you are invited to come here and be in the space. You don't have to be. You are the right people. You have come here to watch, and that's okay. And you can go wherever you want, come back. Here, I will be here for a while. Comment if you want. Or if you know me, direct message me. I will send you a link to this live stream. And you can share what has passion, heart, and meaning for you. So, with that, going to I did some sharing yesterday. We'll not do that yet. Chill. This is chill. Or so it says restream. This is chill. Kind of feels groovy. I'm going through my WhatsApp looking for people. See who might want to come in. Who haven't I talked with in a little bit? Actually, I have a couple people in the background I'm talking with. Interesting. It can be you too if you want to comment on there. You don't want to hear my typing. Maybe you do. Maybe that's it for you. So, who knows? You may wonder if you're watching this, what was I doing? I was talking with a friend of mine who may come on, may not. He may show up in the comments and may not. He was invited. You aren't invited. I don't know. If you don't like being pointed at, I get it. Thank you to those of you on LinkedIn. 9, maybe 8. I don't know. I think it may put one person in there by default. But if there are 9 of you out there, thank you for hanging in this long. I thank you for the precious gift of your time and attention. As I'd like to say at the end, too. Hey! Oh, I have another person here maybe want to join. We shall see. I'm going to go mute for a second. Hey, it looks like we have a guest. Hey, how you doing?
Morning, man.
I'm well. I am hanging out here and trying to make a go of it in the world. How about yourself? You look so professional.
I look so professional because I
Yeah.
am at work. Now I am with the client. I don't know if I told you, but I became freelance some months ago, and I'm working with Roche. Let's see how it goes. But at the moment, good, good. What about
Yeah.
you? Is this live? Is this live?
You
Only.
are live broadcasting to whoever 3,000 folks I've got on my end. If when you joined, you could have linked up your channel if you want to send to the folks in your domain. You can do that when you come back. When you come back, you're welcome to do that. So we want to share the love.
Cool.
We want to share the love.
So
Yeah.
what is your experiment about now? What are
Well,
you?
this is what I just am calling this an open space. So I talk about open space technology when I start. That's talk about the principles, the law, the rules, kind of what it's all about.
Mhm.
And we don't have a necessarily as yet have a marketplace or bulletin board or anything, but this is
Mm,
just kind of a place to come talk about what has heart and meaning for you, and whoever comes is the right people. So
mm,
that's it. And also this is it has a dual purpose of sharing what I want to do over the next several weeks in the summer to do classes in open space technology and organizations, open space agility, also at the Beta Codex Foundations. So Daniel Mezick, and he had challenged me, showed me a little love and challenge to say, "Hey, do this, Ryan. You have my authorization to do it, and invite folks to come in
cool.
and receive and dance." So yeah, so that's the point. So I'm going to be doing some teaching and helping people open more space.
Yes. Do you have a any specific topic to talk, or any concern that you have at the moment, or anything interest? What is the most interesting thing that is happening with you in
For,
this month? Let's say.
for me this month. So that's very coachy of you, Ulysses. So by the way, this Ulysses Aguila here for those of you who are seeing on the bottom of the screen. That's yeah, there. Okay, so yes, what is alive for me? I'm excited. I'm excited to do new and this thing. I'm excited about going in and being with people and helping people. I've been cooped up for so long that I need to get out and be interacting with folks. So um, also what is present is again, I'll be vulnerable about it. I've got some family stuff going on with my parents. So
Mhm,
there's some illness. My pop's in the hospital,
mhm,
and so my heart is there, and there's lots of stuff going on. A dear friend of mine lost someone very dear to him
mhm.
in life. So someone but we can talk about that later. Um, so there's some grief there. So yeah, you want to do mad, glad, sad, and afraid?
Sorry.
You want to do the mad, glad, sad, and afraid? Kind of do. Have you
No,
ever have you done that? You've
no,
done
no,
it.
no, 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 no. It's just this is for just
Or just for me. Okay. You asked about me. I'm not going to deflect. I'm not going to deflect. Um, so yeah, so the training, mom and pop. Again, here in Cincinnati, I'm meeting a lot of very interesting people.
You
My
already moved. Yeah, I see. Yes.
yeah, we moved from Charlotte, North Carolina to here in Cincinnati.
Mm,
My dearest friend from age 8, we played soccer together as we were youngsters, and we went to school together, and then have stayed in touch over the years. His name's Jeremy Woods. Jeremy Allen Woods teaches. He's the
mhm,
entrepreneurship director of the Entrepreneurship Center at California State University, Bakersfield. Now, Jer went to school for his PhD here in Cincinnati, and so he was so kind to introduce me to his mentor and a friend of his that he found in the program. And then,
mhm,
as what happens, when you ask for help and you
mhm.
You want to receive that you get the gifts of these connections and other connections, and that I hope and believe will allow me to be purple in public and help spread those enthusiasm and excitement and the wonder and wishes for the world. So the connections are good. I'm enjoying that.
Good, good. Do you? What do you think about mentors?
Well, I guess it depends. What does it mean in outside of an organization? Okay, so like for example, I consider Daniel a mentor of mine because we talk. He challenges me. He asks, yeah, it's a good point. Challenging. Also, is a very good listener. I've had other what I call these mentors outside an organization through the years. Now, inside an organization, I think it's a little different. For me, that mentorship is so okay. That's very supportive and nice and kind of this gentle guidance. I had read a while back that what people of all ethnic, ideological backgrounds and everything really need is sponsorship. If you have an authority position, you're up here, and someone else, and of course, we're assuming a hierarchy, right?
Yes.
If you have someone who will advocate for you, and if you will listen to their guidance, right? So, I mean, that's respecting their authority and receiving that, and they will partner with you, and if they will advocate for you and involve you, that I feel really good about that. I would advocate for that sponsorship in an organization. So what is your thought about that? How do you receive that activity of mentoring?
No, I don't know. I was trying to ask you, what do you think about mentorship out of the company, not out of the organization? I mean, in the inside organization is more. I don't know how I don't know how to say the word predictive. Now it's more predictive. It's about the politics. It's about the authority. It's about having a position. It's about a clear path on how to do things or clarify the outcomes. I mean, these things are
prescriptive.
inspiring. Let's talk about like personal growth, for example, or what do you think about mentoring? How to grow? How can you grow in all the areas outside the organization, or what do you think?
Yeah, to be an advocate for growth, that's you're kind of thinking about that in that your view of a mentor should be someone who is on your side, right? Is really pulling for your growth.
Someone that challenge you, it's basically, or
okay.
No, I don't
No,
know.
that's okay. Well, this is interesting. So first of all, what if you don't? You said it was for Roche, of course. Great company, right? Roche. Grace is awesome. I don't know if you I know you talked.
I contacted her, yes.
So, what is your role there? You're consulting with them. Are you do you have a title? Are you called an agile coach? First of all, are you doing agile coaching?
Yes. I am.
Okay. So I'm in this big conversation with some gentlemen, one of which who has a very
first of all, I had no idea that this was broadcasting. I need to go into a minute to have a session. I just wanted to come.
All right, I'll see you.
No, I just I have just a couple of 3 minutes. It's
okay.
30. So okay.
All right, so you got 3 minutes. But anyway, the hashtag. So think about this: no such thing as an agile coach. Okay, that's the hashtag that he puts out there, so that really, if you're an agile coach, you're not really a life coach. That the life coaching bit of it is outside the purview of what an agile coach should be. So think about that. If you agree, disagree, that's a topic that's probably going to come up here.
I mean, you need to have a background of how to ask questions, how to I think all the techniques are helpful when you are a consultant. No, it's not what just one path. No, I am a certified coach, and people can learn different paths and then mix it in some way, and then this is what we call experience. No, experience is a lot of things that you have, and then you have you can mix it in somehow some way. No, because in the mixing is where innovations where you can innovate, where you can have ideas. No, and of course having a coaching uh, background is interesting to be a consultant or to be a coach.
I would keep going, but I know you
I
have
would like
you have a hard
to I would
stop.
like to come back to with a specific topic in another time. But thank you for this surprise.
Were you
Yeah.
prepared to be surprised?
All
All
right.
right, all right, my friend.
See you
And
around.
this is I will see you around.
Bye.
Bye. And this is Agala, one of my dear friends from what we might call the agile space, right? So it's coming around 9:30. Let's see, do we have anybody else there? No. Does anyone else choose to come in here? I'm here, sup. My buddy. Let's see how excited I'm gonna want to. Oh, you don't need to hear me type. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna mute my. Another friend is coming to play. I have 15 minutes total. That may not be enough. Well, I'm going to be getting a phone call at the top of the hour, so who knows? My buddy make it in here? Will he be able to? How long will he be able to stay? Who knows? I am prepared to be surprised. Put on some music, some welcome music for my friend. Hello, Ray Edgar. You are live on LinkedIn right now, and I'm going to do my schmarmy host bit and say hello.
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 Not so smarmy.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. You're always so gracious. I've adored our talks. And this is a new background I see for you. You are casually at home, it appears, yes?
I am casually in the mother's home of my partner, sitting in the bedroom, just relaxing and trying to stay away from the heat of the Mediterranean.
Oh man. So, what do I even want to know what city you're in right now? You're not in Toulouse anymore.
No, I'm in Cap d'Agde, which is a small town originally a volcanic rock spurring into the Mediterranean, but built on by the Romans, and now a must see destination for naturists. Most of them coming from Germany and the Netherlands.
Oh, and this is your wife. This is the reason you are here in this moment. Yes, I'm assuming. Yes.
Not entirely, but
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
all right,
yeah,
all right.
yeah, yeah.
So thank you for coming here with nothing but just an invitation for me. So that is that's a blessing. So I'm here, had been here to do some marketing, but what open space is, what it's all about. I did some riffing about that earlier. This is an open space in terms of you're invited to come in here and share what has passion and meaning for you in the moment. And whatever happens is the only thing that could have happened. Whenever it starts is the right time. Whenever it's over, all that kind of jazz that you know. So with that invitation, what has heart and meaning for you in the moment?
Well, I'm coming out of a week or so. Last Tuesday, I came down with some what I thought was mystery infection, and the medical team of France got on it immediately and diagnosed. Yes, it was definitely infection, and gave me some strong antibiotics. And for a day or two, I felt ridiculously ill, sort of overnight. But what I must say about that, as I reflect on it, is it gave me it was a great kick up the pants in the sense that it added some proportion to what's important and what isn't. And when those antibiotics kicked in and I felt great, and on Friday evening I went into town to celebrate my partner's birthday, and we had a nice pizza sitting in a square in a lovely French city south of France in 25-degree heat with children playing and birds singing. and a glass of nice local wine. Literally every moment was precious. Just walking through the streets, looking at the new leaves on the trees, everything was brand new. And what's come out of that over the last few days is just how super important it is to realize what we have to give the world as people together, and the creativity of people together in connection in this world.
Oh, just imagining. I'm closing my eyes just to imagine that the image you're painting, and it actually welled up with tears a little bit. Just just to be humbled by that beauty of living, but the beauty of living.
Yeah.
Wow.
So consequently, I'm a bit feisty this week because
yeah. Okay. Now contrast.
No, well, I would say not contrast. I'd say it's more dialectic. We can have the beauty of living. We can recognize what we can achieve coming together, and so that's an and. With that comes the need to roll up the sleeves, to face up to some difficult things, to confront, if you will, that which is not right, or is not helping us, or we need to come into some further shared meaning about which actually enables us to move forward. And what I mean by that is, we know the levels of complexity that we're facing in the world, but equally we should know, as in humans come together, we can actually surpass that complexity and wrap our arms around it. That takes effort on our behalf.
Yeah. Well, complexity is, it is there there always will be complex. It's what kind of complexity is most in tune with each other, the planet and all this. Some folks would call that touchy feely stuff, right? It would pejoratively, that often comes across, and I get that. This world is a complex place with good and evil, and the grays all in between, and battling over misunderstandings, and all this in chaos. Even some would call it chaos. But that I think it's the dance, the dance with complexity that and because you breathe, we think of it just breath, right? And just that moment, and then you hold your breath and and that the world is breathing. We are breathing together, and I think this integration of that with, again, you and I talked a lot about the meat of being, and that this world, this place, is asking something of us. We're asking more to be double, triple, 10x on what it is to be living and alive and dancing with complexity and receiving and listening, feeling, playing, and doing that while also being in partnership with people who want to make things, who want to create institutions that better serve, that the stuff of doing, and that doing and being, that I'm about being. I don't need to know the technical stuff, or I'm about technical, and all this being stuff is crap, and that is just, to me, that's exhausting, and what I feel called and invited to do is to attempt to do whatever part that I can to help, the integration, and I mean the playing together, and the respect, and the doing and being, I think we talked about interaction, interbeing, and what was it, interbecoming? Wasn't that the word that came up when we talked about?
Yes. I think Dan Siegel, the great Dan Siegel, mentioned it, and even has recently written a book on the subject. Intraconnected, he calls it.
Intraconnected.
Yes, not interconnected, intraconnected, because that we are constantly, as constructive developmentalists, psychologists will tell you, we constantly make up in our heads the world that we're in. However, there is an illusion here, because we make up that we are somehow separate from that world in that process. Generally, it's like we have a blind spot. We cannot see that actually what we make up is part of being in connection with everything else, and without those connections we don't actually exist. And so if you enter into a room and you're in a meeting with somebody or whatever, you take everything in with you that you've ever known. Even if they trigger you in that meeting for something that you remember as a child, you're bringing in the angst of a parent, or somebody who had a bad experience. You take everything with you. Without all of those connections, you are actually not really, you can't make up the stories that make you exist in your own head.
Yeah. And writing that story together. Yeah. This is so that, see, this is so fascinating to me. And this is, I think, as people are being intrabeing, together.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's a sense that that oh you're not intra-being, you have that, me as the authority figure about psychological collaboration, that you must do this and the other, and that kind of, some call it that professional coaching kind of mindset is, I don't think that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about here. What I feel that you're saying is that it is incumbent upon each of us as individuals to recognize each other's stories and to show compassion and heart and love in what we are doing together. And
Oh,
I mean, it's like doing, yeah. Yeah.
Ryan, I know you love music. I love music too. Let's not go too far down that particular rabbit hole. But
No.
just as an analogy, what I want to say is that all instruments, sounds, rhythms, they're often good, but it's when you bring things together, the counterpoint or the accent, the highlight, the low, like, all of those things together make up a whole. So just to riff off what you're saying there, yes, I am saying it's when we bring those stories together. But equally, what I'm saying is, if we're not careful, we believe our story is the music, where in fact we are a part of the band. And I delighted when you mentioned the word love, because if you strip the band down and you balance it out at the lowest level, what Dan Siegel would say is that energy level is just pure love, because not one of us is playing an instrument yet. And then if we all spark up the band and we share those stories and we agree that we're not actually separate, then instead of just being on our island of frequency where certain things are true and certain things aren't true, we're together on a much elevated level where many more things are possible. And that's the band, that's the music.
Oh man. Let us sing as loud and long and in harmony together as long as we both have breath. So hey man, we are singing this tune together. And
Absolutely.
And the struggle, the challenge. I mean, the word I started today with was challenge, because again, being in presence with Harrison Owen's death or transition, whatever, that his expression of love was, it is this duality, this masculine and feminine of acceptance, full acceptance, unconditional acceptance, and a challenge, and to move forward. So this masculine challenge, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? And I accept you. So that love, that loving, and then it's like, oh my gosh. And I connected it to open space, of course, because we're all together. We are here together to share our spirit and accept one another, even if we're so far apart in conflict, to accept each other. And now what is the invitation for us to do together? And so we're, maybe this jam doesn't feel great, but we warm up together, and I get to know a little bit of your story, and this person's story, her story, and their story, and that we're slowly getting into this groove together, right? And this is the instrument of our humanity, that we are. So that's becoming a we, because there's this royal we, and then there's the we that is here, that is, we are the right people, you are the right people, I am here, and we are loving each other. So
I'm reading a great book at the moment, entitled The Leadership Pause. I forget the name of the writer, sorry for that, to the writer, but anyway, it reminded me again, because she talks in the book, this coach, of how it is in the moment of pause where we positively actually stop engaging with all of our ego and all of our struggles. In the moment of pause, that we actually reconnect with our essence. And I make up that when we listen to others in a certain time type of way, like when we watch nature, a little beetle or something like that. It allows us to reattach with our essence, and suddenly there are new possibilities because we kind of reattach to things that are important on a whole different level. And when we bring that back together, well, there are many new possibilities.
What a gift! What a gift! Oh, and that reminds me that, and I have to. Sadly, I'm the one who has to close this space at this point because I'm expecting a call about a situation with my parents. But what you said in that book, in that moment, I saw this video recently of Wynton Marsalis, great trumpet player, Wynton Marsalis, and a student that he was working with, and that he said that that emotion happens when in the silence, and that's with music and everything. Is that I say this to you, and then so Ray, what you just said touched me so deeply.
Thank you.
And then what did that do in you when you heard and received what I said? That's when that's that magic, that the folks would say, oh, it's just chemicals and electricity, but no, there's more than that. And if it is chemicals and electricity, I'll surf on that for as long as I can. So
I'd perhaps end by saying, isn't everything chemicals and electricity? Or as a Buddhist would say, form is emptiness and emptiness is form.
Okay. that is the that's the form is emptiness and emptiness is form. I will share that as the share of the last. Ray, I am so happy that you came and surprised me here.
It's a pleasure. I'm happy to be invited.
All right. Well, I'm going to end the stream here, and we can land safely.